Joining me, a couple of stars, Ryan Turnbull and Alex Malcolm. Good to have you both back on the team, guys. And
22 goals, 4 he's kicked. Now this is 7th match. He's kicked 2 or more in every game. And as I said, 3 times in his last 4 outings, 5 goals. Thunder. So he'll be important for them today. And they've got a nice little gap at the moment. 7 points, but here go Claremont. Nisbet to Andrews. Thumping kick inside the 50. Medhurst turned his opponent, but McFarlane got back quickest, then lost it. Medhurst trying to get it out to Jones for his 2nd off the left. How about that for a finish?
Scott Lysette back on the ground, boys.
Good news.
And there he is at that run contest, uncontested. Mitchell and Daniels threw both their heads and their hair into that contest. It spills out the back. Here's Spur to Lysette, took 2 bites and then just gave the don't argue to Gilligan, and he kicks high. 2-on-1 here. Holmes is always outnumbered. Dan, clever kick into space. Can he run onto it? He'll soccer it again. There's no one in front of him. There's 3 Tigers chasing him, and they're making up ground, although 2 of them go to ground, including Morton. Dan kept his feet, runs into an open goal and kicks it. Magnificently done, Eddie Dan.
Goal of the year, I know.
Showing his smarts. Speaking to an insider at Collingwood, they were very close to redrafting him, given how good a shape he's in.
Well, it's his 21st goal for the year, I think, Alex.
He made his debut against Peel, actually, in a loss back in 2000. He kicked 3 goals. It was the only game he played that year before winning the Bernie Naylor the following year. Now, Claremont are out again here. Andrews has been important in the last 2 minutes. Here's Blackwell going in the Medhurst direction and just gave himself enough space from Jones to mark a metre in front of him, and he'll go back and line them up as only Paul Medhurst can.
Go through his usual routine, one he's done plenty of times before. 69 times he's played AFL, so he's had plenty of 168 AFL games and a lot of waffle. So set routine, it would be one that he set a long time ago.
38th waffle game, Ryan.
274 goals at the AFL level, 121 at WAFL level, and that might be 122 right on the siren. Great finish, Paul Medhurst, and he puts the Tigers in front for the first time at the bell. It was a gallant first term and a good arm wrestle, but Claremont have hit the front. 5-2-32, they lead Perth Thunder 4-4-28.
No, Mitchell had him for a while. He didn't do anything. He stood there for a long time.
Bristow, great tap to Morabito, tumbles it into the centre square. Subin got his arms free eventually. Mitchell will tumble it high. Who can mark? Good fist from Fawkes, front and square. Richardson on his wrong side. Fawkes will clean up to McFarlane. Off defensive 50 to a 2-on-1. And Silvani will fly. Had the arms chopped. Must be a free kick. Nothing doing. Crawford's hand pass missed the target. He had to butter up again and left it behind. Fortunately, Silvani was clean. Shammer had his hand pass knocked down. Well done, McFarlane. Then didn't get a kick away, holding the ball. Great tackle. Great second effort. Good reward for Shammer. He spots a man. Broadcast side. This is McGovern. He's been pretty good. He's got 2 men on. He goes in the Hamp direction. Big fist from Fawkes. Front and square Neats. Where you'd expect him to be. Fires it goal. Is it bending back? It slams into the woodwork. 7 consecutive behinds in this match. And the margin is 2 points. It's good pressure from Mitchell there to run a long way to get to the contest. So Morton's found Stevenson. Spots a man at the back of the circles. The kick has to be precise. Crawford under pressure. Dan over the top of him. Can he get it out to Sheridan? Sheridan not quite clean enough. He needs some support. He gets it to Thornton, who just tunneled it through his own legs. Great pick-up, Handley. So much class and experience. Blackwell, Stevenson, now Lee. He'll want to turn and look broadcast side. He's got Andrews on. There's a lead up the middle. Lee looks a little longer in the McGovern or Chad Jones direction. That's where the kick's gone. Jones had to work hard to get on the end of it. And he's marked 80 away. Richardson went to the pocket. Hamp is the option longer. Medhurst looking for some space. Jones bereft of options now. He might have to sit it up, although Richardson just found himself in a hole and he found him. Patience is a virtue, Ryan.
Yeah, and be a sort of a real break in the way the game's gone here, because Peel have certainly been, I think, the better side this quarter, but smarts always get through, and Richardson did that exactly right. He just worked his way into the space, and good little kick to him by Chad Jones.
They've kicked 5 consecutive behinds, Claremont, since Paul Medhurst's goal, right on the quarter-time siren. Ian Richardson, he's got 21 on the year, normally a sharpshooter, and this is no exception. First goal of the second term, and Claremont reclaimed the lead with Ian Richardson's first.
Them should do.
And Peel have been playing pretty accountable football, Alex, haven't you? You can name probably half a dozen of their players that have got specific jobs to do. Daniels, for example, has done very well on Kane Mitchell, triplet on Ian Richardson, but just that discipline has got them to where they are at the moment, but they need to continue it.
They do need to continue it, but that's Trevor Williams to a T. That's his old school Colts background, one-on-one football, accountable football. I think they've been fantastic.
Yeah.
And we saw in that win in round 5, they kept it a tight arm wrestle. And we know with Claremont's record in the last 2 years, 8 games in the last 2 seasons, they've been kept to under 100 points. And they've lost 7 of them. So that is the way to beat Claremont, to strangle them, play one-on-one, disciplined, tight inside football. If they'd taken their chances, they could be 3 or 4 goals in front.
We'll keep that stat in mind, Alex, because we might have to revisit that a bit later in the game.
Seems like both sides are just hanging on for three-quarter time. It's 6 points the difference.
They look very tired at the moment, both of them. I can understand Claremont looking tired with no real chance of rotating players, but Peel look like they're starting to be a bit flat on their feet.
Bristow down to Sheridan, got his arms free. Here's Morabito. He might be an important factor. Goes with the torpedo. 2-on-2. Lysett will get a jump at it. Lee's gone back and fisted well. Dan tried to tap it to Orzell, who's been terrific. He couldn't get a clean possession. Dan, great soccer clear. Hancock has Holmes on. Batty running inside the 50. He goes to Dan anyway. He'll turn back onto his left and drill it in the Batty direction. And he marks at the top of the arc. He can travel the journey from here. He'll just settle down and have a shot. Although he's looking, eyes darting.
I think he's doubtful if he can make the journey, actually,
I reckon
Alex.
he'll struggle.
Ryan, just back to your last comment about the Claremont players looking tired, mate. I picked that out as well. There's about 2 or 3 guys that looked up at the bench a couple of times and actually couldn't come off because there was nobody there.
He's kicked 4 behinds today, Matt Batty, from 51.
Never doubted him.
Fabulous goal, scores level in the shadows at three-quarter time. 11th of the year for Matt Batty, none more important than that. He's kicked multiple goals on 3 separate occasions now. McGovern climbed highest, but here's Morabito. Can he show some class and poise late in the term in the last quarter? Goes inside the 50 and finds Batty again.
The match winner.
The questions you asked there, can he show some class and poise? The answer to both of those is yes, because wasn't he terrific just then, Anthony Morabito?
Kick to the advantage side. He comes off for a breather. So Batty lining up for his third. He's kicked 2-4 today. He kicked 3 2 weeks ago against East Perth. This for his third. Straight over the goal umpire's hat. And they had their biggest lead of the match. And it stands at 11 points.
The Peel ruckman, who's done a great job, Bristow, they need to have their best ruckman out there, and Andrews has controlled the stoppages for most of the game.
Marching back to 5 points. First goal for Claremont since the 12-minute mark of the third term. Orzell was brave. Flicked the hand pass out. Here's Subin. He was that man who kicked that goal in the third term. Off the left, penetrating ball deep. Can Jones mark? He can. Always the forwards advantage. Deep one-on-one. Jones the taller man. And he'll go back from point-blank range to kick his third and put the Tigers back in front.
Who was questioning his marking in the third quarter? Oh, I don't know.
He slots it. The Tigers are back in front. 1-point ball game here at Claremont Oval. Between quarter time and three-quarter time, both sides kicked collectively 5 goals, 22. In 7 minutes in this last term, both sides have kicked 5-1. Neitz off the back edge of the square to Richardson from half-back. Sends it out in front of Shammer. What a kick. Shammer couldn't hang on. Nisbet flicks a hand pass out. Good bump by Daniels, but Mitchell stayed in the contest, tapped it forward. Wilson had time to get to his feet and spots a man breaking on the outer side. In fact, he's got 2. Spurs the man marking. What's the next option? Holmes breaks to the flank. He looks inboard. Bristow's all on his own at the circles. Has he got a runner coming past? No. Cadell's breaking off half-back on the broadcast side. And the kick's out in front of him. Will it bounce nicely for him? Gillespie's tracking him. He's got a lot of pace, the big man. Cadell, good kick round the corner. Here's McFarlane. There's some space inside 50. No one sweating the hole for the Tigers. Spur points to the short option. McFarlane goes to the pocket. Who can climb over the top? Hancock ghosting in from the side. Thornton kept it in. Be a miracle if he kicked it. It went through legs at the back. Holmes got a little metre on. Andrews turns around and snaps the goal. Margin back to a point again. Holmes gets his second. What? 4 goals each in this last term. What a battle this has been. This is one of the best games of the season, and honours even in the middle. The umpire will bounce it. Hancock, not a noted goal kicker. He's only kicked 6 so far this season for his new club, and only 28 in his career. It spins off the back. Here's Spur. Good kick out in front of Batty.
Oh, he's
pulled up sore. Is he cramp? Hamstring or might be cramp? He looks okay. Bereft of options. Lycett is deep. The kick was awful. It falls to a dangerous spot, though. Holmes couldn't get his hands cleanly on it. Morabito, a careful touch into traffic. Gilligan cleaned up. Out in front of Shammer, who will run hard and continue to run. Hamp provides an option short. Good shepherd by McGovern. Gave Shammer another 5 metres or so. He goes up to Andrews. Big fist from Fawkes. It went through hands. Mitchell, well, he gave it up. Thornton was too clever by half for Travers, who left it behind. But he found a path through. Back to Spur. He can drive it inside the 50. Sheridan waiting, sandwich between 2. He couldn't hang on. Holmes to Lycett. Palms off one. He's got Dan all on his own to the goal square. He can run in and put Peel in front. Dan kicks his third, and the Thunder have hit the front at the 16-minute mark of the last term.
Let's go.
He's looking and trying to direct traffic to that far side. He wants to switch, but no one's got any energy to run and spread for him, although Thornton provides the outlet option. The kick's a beauty, as you said, Ryan. Thornton wants to hold things up, slow things down. There should be a lot of time on, given how many goals have been kicked. Thornton short for Dan. They've only won twice on this ground in their history, Peel Thunder. They're all famous wins for them, but this would be arguably their best ever. Travers for Sheridan, who's been terrific. 3 points the gap. One more score might do it. One more goal, perhaps. Or Zell broke to the flank. Sheridan hasn't got any options forward, so he goes short for Travers. Every kick so important.
Certainly too early in the quarter to play sort of keep you off football. They've got to keep the momentum going.
Long to a contest. Bristow in from the side. Couldn't hang on. Dan got crunched. Couldn't get his arms free to get a hand pass out. The umpire's going to ping him here. Oh, the ball eventually came out. And it might fall for Sheridan. Running towards the boundary line. Snaps. This would be a miracle. A Peel Thunder miracle from Sheridan. That's his second, the margin at 9 points. 23 gone in the last term.
No.
We mentioned earlier this afternoon that Claremont, when held to less than 100 points in the last 2 years, have lost 7 out of 8 times. It might be 8 out of 9.
It was a stat that was always going to come back to us.
Medhurst, we barely called him. He got it off to Shammer, to Blackwell. The big guns getting involved. Hamp now for Gilligan, providing plenty of run. Holmes chasing him down, gaining him with every stride, but he goes out in front of Andrews. How brave from Luff. Standing in the hold. He got crunched by Andrews. That is the type of thing that wins your club football games.
You're right, Alex. That is a match-winning play there. He just total disregard for his body. He would have known. I don't play now.
Thornton wants it long in the pocket, and that's where the kick's going to go. Now, who can get to it? Holmes strong with the body. Did he hang on to it? Did he have first piece of it? Yes, he did. The umpires paid the mark. And one of their talisman, their leading goal kicker this season, will have a chance to line up for his third and kick the sealer.
He's got a very strong body, Brad Holmes. A good pair of hands, strong body, and that combination, just what Peel needed at that very moment.
Yes, that's it.
He's kicked multiple goals in 19 of his last 25 matches. So consistent. Leading goal kicker last year. Leading goal kicker this year. He kicks the sealer. And Peel are home.